Namaste and welcome to App Writers. In this episode, we are going to learn how to build a scalable Flutter project with reusable widgets. How to make our widgets reusable so that we can simply copy paste it from one project to another without changing much in the widget and use it anywhere in any scenarios. Using a simple login and sign up screen, we will learn how to make these screens reusable, how to expose logics outside from widgets so that widget itself is decoupled, how not to depend widgets into one another, how one widget can remain independent so that it can be copied to any another project and used in any other scenarios. I hope this episode will be useful to you. So let's get started. Let us start by creating new Flutter project. Flutter create. I'm going to name my project scalable Flutter. Let's cd. Now let us add few packages that I know I'm going to use. Flutter pub add, go router, get it, Flutter river pod. So go router, we are going to use it for routing. Get it is for dependency injection, and Flutter river pod is for state management. We might not use state management at the moment, but I'd like to add it just in case. Now let's open it. Okay, let me close this one. Okay, so we have our project. Inside live, we have our main file. Right now, all I want to do is I want to remove all of this, and then let's add a new stateless widget. Here we will add material app, home will be, let's add empty container for now. Okay, now we will start by creating a splash screen. That is the first default screen that will be shown when our application loads. Let's call it splash screen.dart. Let's import material. Let's make a stateless widget. Let's call it splash screen. This will just use safe area, container, white, let's align everything center, then child, text. For now we'll just show loading. Let's add const. Okay, so we have our splash screen. What we can do now in the main, instead of this, we can load splash screen. All right, now we also want routes. Instead of directly adding a splash screen to our home, we want to use go router. So let's create another file, routes.dart. Here I'll import go router. So let's use go router, and let's define routes, go route, and path will be, let us add a constant first. Let's say this is root, and let's also add a name, root, or yeah, let's call it root. Let's give it something like this. So path will be splash, and name will be splash, and then builder will get context and state, which we don't need at the moment. Here this will be our splash screen, and in the go router we can set initial location as splash, so that splash screen is displayed by default. Okay, we can make it const. Now instead of this, we can do metrolab dot router, and for router config we can get our router from routes. We can remove the splash screen from here. So we have a basic application set up with go routes, and we have our splash screen. We can run it. We can see our splash screen, which just says loading, and it's all underlined and everything because we have not added some material widgets. So instead of let's wrap, instead of safe area, let's use scaffold body. So allow, yeah, so we can see loading. That is our splash screen at the moment, right? We can resize text. Okay, now I want to add login screen. So let's add login screen. Let's implement a simple login screen. Stateless widget screen, and this will be scaffold body list view children, and let's say text login. Let's give a separation of 20 pixels, and then let's add text form field. Text decoration, not text decoration, input decoration. Let's add hint text. Let's make it email, and then let's copy both of these, the separation, and let's give a 10-point separation for these two text form fields. And then this will be password. Let's make it obscure text true, so this becomes a password field. Then let's add 30-point separation, and then let's add elevated button on pressed. For now, debug print login pressed, and then child will be, let's say, login. Let's add const modifier everywhere. Make this a bit smaller. So we have our login screen, which we can add to our routes. Yeah, let's add to our routes. Go route, path, login, builder, login screen. So we now have our splash screen and login screen. So let's say I want first screen to be login, then I can show initial location as login, and if I now hot restart, I can see my login screen. Let's give some padding. Yeah, okay, it looks good, right? However, right now if I want to change the path or name, it's messy. We have strings everywhere, and this is not a good way to handle things. So what can we do? First thing, let's add some constants here. Sorry, const string route name splash static const string route location slash route name. So now we have one source of truth, which is route name, which we also use for route location. Now back to the routes, what we can do is we can do splash screen dot route location and splash screen dot route name. So we have one source of truth, which is the widget itself, because the widget itself should know its location and name. Now I can quickly do the same thing for login screen. Let's copy this and let's go to login screen, paste it, login, and back to the routes. We do the same thing, login screen dot route location, login screen dot route name. All right, got it. Next, I want to add a sign up screen. Okay, let's just copy everything in login screen and let's rename this sign up screen. Let's change this route name to sign up, text to sign up, and also button to sign up, login press, change it to sign up. Let's add one more text field. Sorry, that will be name. Okay, we now have our sign up screen. Let us go back to routes and add it. Let's copy this. Let's do sign up screen. So now we have route for sign up screen. Here as well, initial location, sign up screen dot route location. If we refresh now, we should be able to see the sign up screen. Now I'd like to be able to navigate from sign up screen back to login screen and login screen to sign up screen. So let's add a text button here. Text button, pressed, new user, register, and here I want to go to sign up screen. So what I can do, context dot go named sign up screen dot route location. Okay, in the routes, let's set initial screen to login screen. Now if I hot restart, I can tap on new user register. Okay, configuration name unknown route name sign up. Okay, wait a minute, routes sign up screen dot route name is sign up. Okay, let's hot restart one more time just to be safe. Go route. Okay. Unknown route name. Name should not be location. Okay, I get it. I get what did I do wrong. Not route location but route name. I should use route name. So now if I tap here, I go to the sign up screen. Now in the sign up screen, I also want to be able to go back to the login screen. So let's add in the sign up screen. Let's do the same thing. Height. Let's copy. I like to copy. So let's copy this text button. Let's add it here. So import go route and then login screen dot route name. So I want to go back to login screen. So already registered, I just want to log in. So I can see here already registered login. If I click here, I go back to the login screen. Okay, now do you see the problem in this design? So the first problem in this design and the very worst problem is that now the sign up screen knows about login screen knows about sign up screen, and they are dependent. So login screen is dependent on sign up screen and so on, right? And also the login screens and sign up screens, they are not reusable because their logic is packed inside this. So if I want to move this sign up screen or copy this sign up screen into a new project and use it to make it reusable, this is not good. So let's start decomposing or refactoring to make it scalable as well as reusable. So scalable, the widgets should not depend on each other. So login screen, sign up screen, it's best if they do not know about each other. But for that, we need to make these widgets reusable first. So I'll start by reorganizing folder. Let me close all this. Let's create a features folder. Inside features folder, I'll create sign up screen, which is one feature, and let's move sign up screen inside this folder. Similarly, let's create another folder, login screen, and move our login screen inside that folder. Next, let's create splash screen and move our splash screen. Okay, we have 3 features in this application. So just by looking at this folder, one can see that in this application there are 3 features, which is login, sign up, and splash screen. Okay, next let's change the login screen so it doesn't need to know about the sign up screen. So in order for this to be able to navigate as well as not to know about the sign up screen, we need to expose this function to the parent widget. So how we can do that? We can use a callback. So here function on, let's call it on go to sign up. Okay, and this should now require on go to sign up. So in the routes now we need to pass on go to sign up, so we need to remove this, and then here on go to sign up. So as this routes already knows about sign up screen, it's okay, so we can do context. Now we need to get the context from here, which we already get. Go router already provides us with context. Go named sign up screen dot route name. Okay, so login screen now exposes this function. We need to apply this here on go to sign up. So on pressed will be required void function on pressed. So abstract, wait a minute, final void, let's define a type def callback equals function like this. So here I was missing this. Now here we can do on go to sign up callback. Okay, and can't define constructor, yeah, so we need to remove constant. Okay, next we already have a void callback defined in Flutter, so instead of this we can just use void callback, simple as that. Okay, we don't even need to define this. Now this doesn't need to know about sign up screen or even go router. So login screen doesn't need to know which routing library is used or which widgets it is dependent on. So this login screen feature is now independent. You can just plug it and move it anywhere, but for that we also need to expose this function where on pressed on login pressed. For that we need to also expose the values from this text form field. To do that, let's make this stateful widget. Okay, so let's make this final const. Okay, now here let's initialize some controllers. Text editing controller, okay, next text editing controller. So we have email controller and password controller. Email controller, password controller. Now when a login button is pressed, we need to call some function on login with these parameters, which are underscore email controller dot text, password controller dot text. Now we need to create here, now we need to define a type. So type def, let's call it on login callback, which will be void, or it might be future void function string. So this will receive two arguments, email and password. We can add another here, final on login callback on login, and this will be required this dot on login. Okay, so in the routes we need to define another function. On login we'll get here email, password. Here I'll just debug print $email $password. Here I need to make it async because I'm using future, but what I can do is I can use future or, so that I don't have to always make it async. Let's import debug print. Okay, so login screen now exposes both the function, the login button function, and as well as navigating to sign up function. So login screen is now fully reusable. You can just copy paste this feature anywhere and it should work. What's the problem? On login, okay, this is on widget.onLogin because this is stateful. So now you can just copy this login screen feature from this application and plug it anywhere, because login screen doesn't assume any routing libraries that you have used, any state management or any authentication system that you have used. It exposes the function so that you can use the login screen anywhere by providing these functions. So I'll do the similar changes in the sign up screen. So let's define a type. So this should receive three different parameters: name, email, and password. We can also give name here, name, email, and password. Okay, now again we change this to stateful widget. We add two callbacks: void callback on go to login, on sign up callback on sign up. Let's add both of these as required parameters in the constructor. Next, let's set up text editing controller. Let's copy paste. I love to copy paste. Let's copy these two and add one more. So paste. This will be underscore name controller. So first one, controller, name controller, controller, email controller, and then finally password controller. And here, when a sign up button is pressed, we just call widget.on on sign up and pass name controller.text, email controller.text, and then password controller.text. Okay, and also when go to login button is pressed, we just call on on go to login. Now we need to go back to route and make a similar changes to our sign up screen. On go to login, it will be a function, it will be a function. Now we will need this context, and here we can do context.go named login screen dot route name. Okay, similarly we need to remove this const, and we need one more on sign up where we get name, email, password. I'll just do debug print. $password. So now sign up screen is also reusable as well as copyable. You can just copy paste this into any application and use it in any scenario without changing anything, right? If I were to restart now, we are in the initial login screen. I can go to register screen, I can come back, I can add email and password and hit login, which I should see here. And similarly in the register, I can add name, email and password, and I can do sign up, and I can see the output here. And in this whole process, the sign up screen doesn't know about login screen. Even then it can navigate to login screen. Login screen without knowing about sign up screen, it can navigate to sign up screen. As well as both login and sign up screen doesn't define how to authenticate or how to use the values the user entered, so that the place where we instantiate these widgets, we can decide how we want to use or how we want to use the value entered by the user. This makes it super useful, and this makes it fully reusable, because right now only the Go router knows about different screens and how to handle authentication, how to handle navigation. So this keeps these logics in one place. So in the next project, even if you are not using Go router, you can use some other router, but you still be able to copy paste these screens and use them without changing much, right? You might want to change the styles and everything, but it will work out of the box. And it is even useful when you have libraries of these kind of unstyled widgets, reusable unstyled widgets, which you can just copy paste and reuse it in any of your projects, which is fully reusable. Okay. Now also how this is scalable is we define the folder structure based on features, and also in the further episode we will learn more about how we can further structure state management, how we can define and manage authentication, implement authentication logics using different providers, and even then make the application fully reusable and scalable. I hope this episode was useful and you gained some insights on how to make your Flutter application scalable as well as your components, your widgets, reusable. If you like my videos, don't forget to share and subscribe. If you do not understand, if you have any queries, feel free to leave comments in the videos. Thank you. See you again in the next episode.